Welcome back, you podcasting scoundrel, you. Today, we are talking about products and different ways that you can monetize your podcast. Podcasting is fun, making these videos is fun, but at the end of the day, we all have bills to pay, and you want to be able to make some dough with what you're doing. Whatever you're spending your time with, you should be profiting in some way. Doesn't mean to say that we're going to hawk terrible products at people. Doesn't mean we're going to hard sell anything at all. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to connect people with things that help them. And just by connecting them to the things that help them, you can make money. And it's actually very simple by not overthinking it. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive right in. All right. So when you're trying to figure out how to monetize your podcast, most people go straight for ads, thinking that ads are going to be the most profitable way to move forward. Now, ads are fine, however, but they pay on a bidding system. So I've talked about this in the past, but ads pay via bidding system, which basically means that there's an advertiser that's willing to spend money per click, per view, per impression, per something, and then the person that's advertising for them, that platform, whatever it is going to make that money on the back end. So Reebok wants to push their new shoe on YouTube. They run a bunch of YouTube ads. They're willing to pay 5 cents an impression. They get 500 impressions, multiply that out. That's how much money that they're spending to advertise. And then on the receiving end, it's those channels that are earning a percentage of that money back for themselves. And that's also how it works for any of these podcasting platforms like Podbean and what have you. They kind of all run on this bidding system where you can make small amounts of money or larger amounts of money depending on the advertiser. Now, that's all well and good, but when you're making a podcast such as whatever it is that you guys are making, it might not be as cut and dry. And if you're trying to build a business, you need a method of making good money consistently. And you can't really rely on making 30 cents an ad for every 1,000 people because that just is not going to pay the bills. So what we're going to focus on today in this video is finding offers that pay, let's say, between $10 and $100 per sale. Now, when I say per sale, I'm not just talking about selling an item. I'm also talking about leads. I'm talking about basically email opt-ins. You can get paid via a zip code. Let me just jump over to a search engine that I use. This is an affiliate search engine. You can actually search for products that are being paid out. And how these guys do this and why they would even do this is they're trying to buy a customer. So this is a good example. So Cooper is a coupon finder extension. What this pays on is $4.50 per lead, meaning that if somebody clicks on your link and then installs this Chrome browser extension, which is a free piece of software, you get paid $4.50. Why does that even work? Is because Cooper is trying to buy that person as a customer. They're trying to get them to sign up. That means that they can start emailing them deals. That means that they can connect them with other stores because Cooper does a lot of business with different retailers. So I'll just show you guys quick, like Walmart, eBay, Temu, Sephora, Kohl's, Lowe's. These are all big name brands. So that's why they're willing to pay the $4.50 per person, is because they can actually start pushing these products on people. So let's talk a little bit more about the different products that your podcast might want to start promoting. And really, that's going to come down to whatever niche that you're in. That might mean that you're selling books, digital downloads, templates, lawnmowers, whatever it is. There's likely an affiliate program for it and people that need these items. And that's kind of the key point here. I was taking a look over at the podcast Spotify charts to see who's on top right now. And the Mel Robbins podcast, which I had never heard of, came up for me. So I figured I'd do a little research, and it turns out that this person's podcast, I guess she's a New York Times author or something, but this is her podcast, her show. And I want to show you guys the traffic that she's getting, because this is just to the website alone. She's been getting about 40,000 people a month going to her podcast website. And then more recently, there was a change in the Google algorithm, and she boosted up to 102,000 a month. So she basically more than doubled her traffic. And then it looks like the beginning of this year, she has now gone from 94,000 about per month to 277 to 296. And now she's dipped a little bit, but she's at like 200,000 people a month going to her website. Now, I want you to think about this, because that is 200,000 people going to her website, finding her episodes, all these different podcast episodes, and then watching them either on her site, which gives her engagement time, watching it via all these different platforms, whatever. She has a write-up about the episode, and then basically like a breakdown of resources, different resources, whoever she's referenced, stuff like that. Now, how is she making money? It seems to me she's selling a lot of books, and that is kind of her method of making money. So that's interesting. So podcast, let's just say product ideas. And we're going to be pretty broad here, but I just want to get you thinking about this, because you could sell books, smart guides, like step-by-step instructions on how to do things, talk about finance and stuff. You could talk about money in general. So that might be like how to rent an apartment, how to save enough money for a deposit on a place, or how to save for a mortgage, stuff like that. And you've got yourself a very simple product that you can sell. And these are products that you can sell for decent money. Let's see what it sells for on Amazon. So we're looking at about $22 minus the printing costs and the production costs of doing this. So let's say she's making $10 to $15 a book sale. And I can't see how many people have bought this, but she's got over 23,000 ratings on Goodreads. So she's also #1 on the Amazon charts. So I believe that she's gotten quite the boost in Google, funneling a lot of people here. She's selling the book like crazy. She's reaching the top of the charts. Now, is this the main way that she's getting her traffic? Probably not. But it is definitely something to consider. All right, so aside from books, what else can we look at? We can look at affiliate offers, which we just talked about a little bit. And you can look at things like Etsy, Gumroad, and different platforms like that. Now, Etsy and Gumroad are more handmade products. I would probably stay away from this if I was doing podcasts, because unless you make jewelry or anything directly related to this, but you can do a lot more money and a lot more earnings, whatever, products and whatnot, if you were to sell your own product. But you could also just do digital downloads and charge the same or more money for it without the cost of production. So she's got $22 a sale minus the printing costs. Let's say it's between $5 and $10 plus the publisher or whatever. Let's say she's clearing about $10 a sale. Now, this is fantastic because she's getting the traffic on Amazon for this. All right, so now we're trying to figure out what we are going to sell for our show. True crime is a huge topic in podcasting. So let's try to find a product for that. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to do true crime affiliate program, and we're going to see what comes up. And I already have a couple ideas in mind, but we've got Cold Case Incorporated. You can earn 20% commission. Detective Society, Masters of Mystery. And you see here, we're earning 20% up to 25%. Hunt a Killer. So we're talking about 10% per sale. 30-day cookie essentially means that once they click on your link, they have 30 days to make a purchase, and you earn 10% on the sale. All right, so we're earning 25% commission. Masters of Mystery. Out of $20, you're earning like $4 a sale. That's not great. It's not terrible. But if your entire show is about true crime, and I keep going back to the Crime Junkie podcast, these guys are getting 250,000 web visitors per month. I think even at a 1% conversion rate at 250,000 people, you're selling 2,500 of those. Let's say 2,500 times 4, you're earning a 6-figure salary, because 10,000 times 12 is $120,000 a year in Masters of Mystery. So you can see how this stuff actually adds up quite quickly if you're able to flip people into a product that they would actually want. Like, how many people listening to true crime podcasts would want to solve their own cold case file? I think a lot of people would be interested in this kind of stuff. This is like the stuff where you're given a whole bunch of evidence and you have to like piece it together for yourself. All right, so let's just take a quick look through the Spotify charts, because a lot of these top players, what they're doing is they are using their own products to push their business. Tucker Carlson, he's got the Tucker Carlson Network, which is a paid platform. However you feel about him is beside the point, because this man is running his own platform. It has a subscription thing going on, and you pay $6 a month, billed annually, 6 times 12. We're talking about $72 a year per sign up. And then we could just pop his website into here. Now, obviously, this isn't the end all be all of his traffic by a long shot, but he's getting 150,000 people a month going to his website. We'll just do some 1% conversion rates, 1,500 signups a month, and that's on the low end. This is kind of like a baseline, but times what I say, $72, he could be pulling in at least $100,000 just from the website alone. That doesn't include the millions of views that he's getting from YouTube and the traffic that he's funneling into his actual site from elsewhere. Actually, we could go over to SimilarWeb. It's another tool that I use. Why I'm showing you guys this stuff is because you have to be willing to look at your competition, look inside your niche, and try to find the other people that are doing this stuff, because there are people that are successful doing what you want to be doing. And if you can emulate their success by doing it, not by ripping them off, but by doing it in your own way, you can find that same success as well. So just looking here at SimilarWeb, this is not just based on keyword data, but they're saying that he's getting about 1.6 million people to his site per month. Now, that's a far cry from the 150,000 that Ahrefs is showing. Million. So how many was it? That's 16,000. That's 160. That my brain is not working yet. So that's six. Yeah. Okay. So we're at 1.6 million times 0.1%, 16,000 people on a 1% conversion rate signing up for his podcast. Now, 16,000 times the $72. Is he making $1.1 million a month? He might be. So we went over some methods of making money. We went over some products that you could do. You could do books, affiliate offers, Etsy, Gumroad, your own products where you're making it directly and selling it directly via a platform like Stripe. You could use Stripe to literally make yourself a product, whatever it is. You could charge $10 to $100 or $1,000, whatever it is, per sale. They're going to take 3% because they take a transaction fee. So you're paying them $3 on a $100 sale, but you get to keep $97. That's $97 in your pocket if you're able to make the sale of something that people actually need and want. That's the key. So what are we going to do with all this information? Where are we going to actually put this stuff? My best advice is to get yourself a website. Definitely get yourself a website, because if you look online, it's like $8 a month for web hosting. A lot of the platforms, you can have as many websites as you want on that account. For the $8, you can have 50, 100 different websites. Doesn't matter. So this is just like a very easy baseline to get in. And usually you can get a deal where they're doing like half off or something. Actually, you could get it as low as like $40 to, let's say, $250. So it's a small investment. The advantage is you own the domain. This is a big key point, because a lot of the podcast hosting platforms, which you're already likely a part of, is they offer a website for you. The issue that I have with that is that you are then locked in to their platform, and you're less likely to move when you need to move. If everything is tied to that website and the website's converting and you're making money with it, you're not going to be able to very easily move to a different platform. Or in the case of Anchor, for example, Anchor Podcasting, I can't spell, Anchor Podcast Hosting, they were bought by Spotify in 2019. So they can just be absorbed into a different company. And then what do? You get yourself your own web hosting. You own the domain. You own the website. The website could be around forever. There are websites out there from 1990 that haven't been updated since 1990. All you got to do is have a place to put it and host it, and it will live on forever, as long as you pay your bill, or you can self-host it, whatever it is you want to do. Then what you're going to do is you're going to funnel your listeners into your site. And how are you going to do that? You're going to provide them with a valuable resource, whatever that is. So in the case of Crime Junkie, my favorite example, you're going to funnel them in to a helpful blog post that talks about the episode, who this person is, who the different people are that's in the story that we're talking about. And then we're going to push them over to things that make you money. Join your mailing list. You don't have to spam them, but you can send them the new episodes whenever a new episode drops. You could send them relevant product, right? We've got merch. We've got tours. They go on tour, and these guys go on tour. If you're selling books, you send them back to the website. We're looking at the podcast episode here called the Let Them Theory, okay? Again, same format. Here's how to play the video. Here's where to listen to it. Information about the episode. Timestamps, if you want to jump around, whatever it is. Resources to go bigger. The Let Them Theory book, which is basically her book. Other resources that helps people, more episodes, etc. The goal is to funnel your listeners to the website. You can offer them free items on the site. You could do printables, downloadables, tools, if it's related to your podcast, of course. If your show is about car repair, you can offer them an imperial to metric conversion system, socket sets, different tools for working on your car, your favorite wrench, stuff like that. You could even start making your own products, like making a wrench. There's a YouTuber, it's called Hand Tool Rescue. I haven't seen them in a while here, but this guy, what he does, he's getting 1.8 million views. He's rescuing old tools. He just does like rust repair on stuff. And then you go here to his website and he's got a whole collection of products. And these are expensive products, $65, $50. How much does it cost him to actually have it made? I'm not sure. However, probably making at least a 50% markup. So let's say he's making $25, $30 a sale, made in Canada. He's doing it. You guys could be doing the same thing. And that's the point of this video. If you enjoyed this and you found it helpful, please let me know in the comments down below. Please head to my website, podcastpontifications.com. I've got a mailing list. You should be on the mailing list. If you want to grow your podcast, turn it into a business, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to help you guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.